the mass deportation of undocumented people from the United States. I mentioned to you that I've been surprised by the response I received among farmers and ranchers and people involved in agriculture when it comes to the immigration issue. I told you about the dairy farmer who said, Senator Durbin, we're going to close down our dairy operation after 3 generations in our family because we need immigrant workers for dairy operations in Illinois. Another young lady with the Farm Bureau raised her hand and said, while you're at it, include the orchards. Who's going to pick this crop? It isn't the local kids at the high school. They won't even man the fruit stand out by the highway, and I put an air conditioner in there. I can't get them to come to work for me. I need immigrant workers. Turns out that 40% of the farm workers in this country are undocumented. And you know what that means. They're vulnerable to being deported. And if they're deported, what are the farmers going to do? For a lot of them and for a lot of different industries, immigration is critical. Now, your organization has said some things, some pretty strong things. Your American First Policy Institute, they've called for deportation at a scale that actually matters and massive deportation efforts. So I just need to ask you, what is your policy on immigration? We've got to get down to the real world, not the criminals. We don't want them. They shouldn't come here and they shouldn't stay. But those who work every single darn day to pick a crop that American people are not going to pick themselves, and most of them, 40%, I shouldn't say most, 40% are undocumented. So can we expect this administration to be raiding farms and going after the immigrant farm workers?
Senator, thank you. And I really was grateful for our time yesterday and our time working together in the last administration. And I appreciate your kindness. I was a little late yesterday. There was some confusion and you gave me a little grace. So I really appreciate that. Yes, Senator Lujan, you as well. Listen, the president's vision of a secure border and a mass deportation at a scale that matters is something I support. I was his domestic policy director in the last White House. I have built and led an organization alongside Chad Wolf, our former Secretary of Homeland Security, at the America First Policy Institute. I want to be extremely transparent, and I think that you deserve that. That is my commitment, is to help President Trump deploy his agenda in an effective way, while at the same time defending, as if confirmed, Secretary of Agriculture, our farmers and ranchers across this country. And so having both of those, which you may argue is in conflict, but having both of those as key priorities, my job is to work with, if confirmed, the Secretary of Labor, Lori Chavez Durimer from Oregon, but she herself has family farms in California and Oregon, to work with her on the H-2A program, to also work with all of you to reform and perhaps modernize that H-2A program. We'll also say that the president has been very clear that this first round will be aimed at, as you mentioned, those who have committed crimes and are criminals while inside our borders over the last 4 years. So we will follow the data. We will follow and listen to our farmers and ranchers as this is moving. And my commitment is to work with all of you to work to solve and do everything we can to make sure that none of these farms or dairy producers are put out of business.
Now, I support your answer. Dangerous people shouldn't be here, and if they're here, they should be gone, period. But when we're talking massive deportation, we're gone beyond dangerous criminals. And I just wonder if we ought to give fair warning to farmers and ranchers across America that if you have immigrant labor, you can expect federal agents to come and search your property. Is that in the future for farmers and ranchers under the mass deportation plan?
Sir, I have not been involved in that. The president's current plan, I cannot answer that one way or the other. I do know that my job is to ensure that as those conversations are ongoing, if confirmed, that I am part of that data collection and understanding, and that the president understands that what this means to our agriculture community. And I believe sincerely that he will execute his agenda, that he has promised the American people, but that we'll never forget our ag community in so doing.
Well, I certainly hope so, because these men and women in immigrant labor on our farms are doing backbreaking work every single damn day, and they've done it for years. And many of them, 40% of them, are undocumented. And if they are going to be deported, then we've seen a lot fewer fruits and vegetables that we take for granted every time we go into the store. I think that's part of the